Hey everybody, Preferred Selection here. I've got another video where I have a big long list of things in my inventory to talk about. I finally fished enough to get the weather radio. I guess I've done about 60 fishing quests. I've actually gotten 2 of these, but just displays the weather. It's kind of nice. You get a little bit of info on what's going on with the weather. We still need a fisherman's calendar, I think. Fisherman's journal, something like that, to complete our cell phone, but we're very close. I also got 5 life fruit. I was, just in the jungle. But we're finally at 500 health. We're not going to get the achievement because I've logged on. I logged on to play with a friend for a little bit on a character who had 500 health. So, but yeah, we would get the topped off achievement if we hadn't done that already. I got this crystal serpent thing to drop from something. I think it was an enemy in the hollowed, maybe a fishron. It's a magic weapon. Seems neat. Never used it before. Never even knew about it before. So that's cool. I also got wisp dye, which is just kind of, another dye. I won't play with it too much because it seems like we just get like a Wow, that looks really strange. That's really weird. Okay, I can't right-click dyes on and off. That's unfortunate. But yeah, I'm not crazy about all the dyes that are like... It's not even a material, so there's no like wisp and shadow dye or anything. I'm not crazy about all the dyes that are like really blown out. Maybe if I was like wearing different stuff, but I don't want to change my hue that much. I also got a super absorbent sponge, which is going to be really handy for our jungle, because you know how I've been complaining about how waterlogged our jungle is? You can take this sponge, and it kind of works like... Unfortunately, it doesn't work like a bucket, like you can't refill anything you do with it. But you can use it to just drain like an infinite amount of water. And this world definitely has enough water. So I'm just going to be draining the jungle at some point. I'm not going to make you guys watch me drain the jungle, don't worry. I also got a magic quiver to drop, which I don't really care about right now, but if we ever get like if we decide to build like a ranged character, which we might do at some point, that's going to be handy. We had a frozen turtle shell drop, which is neat. I was farming for truffle worms. You see, we've got 20 truffle worms now. And in my truffle worm farm, a lot of crimson mimics were showing up. So I had like 3 or 4 of these fetid bagnaw things drop. And they're insanely powerful. Like, okay, so if I walk over to one of these... Let's see if we can get one that's just by itself. If I walk over to one of these dummies, you'll see that it might be a little bit hard to see, but if you look above my mechanic's head, you'll see that my DPS is about 450, 460 per second. If I use like vampire knives... Oh, strangely, that's weird. Vampire knives is climbing to like 600, 700. Do vampire knives do more DPS on a... I mean, I guess we're up close and hitting with all the knives, which would be a little unrealistic in combat. But if we switch over to the fetid bagnaws for dealing with one enemy up close, you see that the numbers just skyrocket. We're doing 1100, almost 1200 damage per second. That's like twice what we were doing with the Terrablade. Really, it's so much damage that if I put a Nimbus Cloud above this and then start hitting, it halves the damage almost. We're doing about 2/3 the damage we were doing now, because we can only hit 6 times per second, so now the Nimbus Cloud is actually interfering with the damage that we can do. Yeah, now we're back up to 1200, or almost 1200. So yeah, and it's got a little bit of range. Like we can hit 2 of these guys at once for 2000 damage per second. So fetid bagnaws. I don't know when I'm gonna need something that's that up close, but I think we're done with the light discs because the Terrablade is just gonna be... Let's show off the light discs versus one enemy. Oh, I can't even see the damage per second because I've got my inventory open. Yeah, like 200. So the light discs or just well past light disc time. It's time to retire them. Even though it's really cool that they got a buff, but I think I'm done with them. I could also maybe retire the Eye of Cthulhu, but I'm gonna keep having some faith in the Eye of Cthulhu that maybe I'm gonna get into. At some point, I might really want to use. Yo-yos. That's what the word I'm looking for is yo-yos. So I'll just put a little bit of this stuff away. Put some stuff in my hard mode weapons chest, which is getting very full. In fact, it's too full. And hard mode accessories. Is this sponge an accessory? No, it's not. I don't know where the sponge is gonna live. Somewhere. Probably live in my piggy bank because it's actually a tool that I want to keep with me. So yeah, sponge can go in there. So the last thing I got that I wanted to talk about, and I'm not even sure where it's like safe to show this off because I really don't want this thing to, like, this thing kind of flies around a lot. Maybe like here. So if I place a chest down and use one of these keys of night, these are just, you take 15 souls of night to forge one of these. If you put them in a chest, and this is gonna be, I don't even know like the best way to do this. Maybe I'll stand back a little bit. I should probably summon. Well, oh, why am I in Tiki armor? So all those numbers that you just saw were probably pretty low because I was in Tiki armor. I'm gonna go back really quick and see. Yeah, those numbers seemed low to me. So, okay, I'm in Beetle armor now. Yeah, Fetid Bagnall, we're seeing almost 1300 damage, which is about what I'd expect. And then Terrorblade. Huh, you know, strangely it's not that much of a difference. A little bit more. You know, it's cool that you can get your beetle buff from hitting those minions. Something to think about is like maybe you want to put like a bunch of those ragdolls in like some kind of arena if you want to keep your beetle buff in between like a boss rush or something. Probably not necessary, but an idea. So yeah, 15 souls of night. Drop one of them in like a regular chest, and it instantly becomes a crimson chest. And the crimson chests, depending on where you fight them, are really hard. Like, we've got a lot of area to fight it right now, but in an enclosed space, these things are nuts. Like, they are really strong. They hit for just like a ton. Alright, so we got Flesh Knuckles from that, which is another thing that I probably meant to talk about, but I just forgot about, because I've gotten these before. They give you 7 defense, which is the most that any accessory gives you. And they can have like a normal reforge, but they also have, they pull aggro, so if you're playing on multiplayer, I could see wanting this to just give yourself a little bit of defense and be tanky. I don't know why. I mean, it seems like you would never use this because, like, the Paladin's Shield, you get 1 less defense, but you get the incredible Paladin's Shield ability. So, one of the problems with the Paladin's Shield is it's really hard to ambiently heal because you're always taking, like, 1 point of damage while your friends get hit. So maybe if you are tanking and you don't want to be taking damage for your friends, like, if you're just, like, kind of off-tanking for, like, a ranger, but you're not, like, a super tank, maybe you would roll around with this. I guess this is not material, so I only need to keep one of these. I'll sell the brisk one, I guess, because Violent might actually be good enough for Reforge. What do they sell for? About 8 gold seems to be the going rate for things like that. So yeah, we've got a ton of Keys of Night, so we can make a bunch of Crimson Chests. But what I'll probably do with them is I'll probably go over to the Corrupt World and make a bunch of Corrupt Chests, because I don't have any, I've never fought a Corruption Mimic, and I'd probably like to get some of their items. I don't even know what their items are, really. But, yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in terms of loot. I got through that in 10 minutes, I'm glad. So, but that was, like, just from AFK farming forums. And I believe this is the world with the Fishron Bridge. Okay, I can go check real quick. Yeah, this is over with the fish on bridge. So let's go over there, and I think we can do a fish on fight at night. It might be a little hard to see, but we've got light over there for this exact reason. So yeah, let's do some fish runs. Let's do, like, I'd really like to get fish on wings. I should be able to handle this without, like, any buffs or anything. Buffs would be helpful, but I mean, we've got a pretty good setup. And it's just fish on. I mean, I could easily die to fish, like, at any point you can easily die to fish on if you're not paying attention. With the exception being, like, I don't know, if you're in the new armors that I haven't, maybe if you're in the new armors that, like, I haven't even messed with, like, that you get from the Moon Lord, maybe you can tank fish on, but as far as I know, tanking fish on is still kind of impossible. You really have to, you can really die to him at any point, which makes him a really cool boss in my opinion. Yeah, I feel like we can see this bridge enough. You know, I've got plenty of torches. Like, I've got, like, 99 stacks of torches in my base, so why not throw a bunch down? Yeah, now we can really see the bridge well. I don't like how close that one is to everything. Turn these on. I've probably got a source of well-fed somewhere, I bet. Yeah, I've got a pumpkin pie, so I'll eat a pumpkin pie. So I've got these truffle worms in that inventory slot because they were interfering with my ability to fish. Like, if truffle worms are in the front of your inventory now, you actually, like, can't... Sorry for not talking for a second. You actually can't fish when you're dealing with a situation like that. Whoops. Want to make sure I don't get fish on to go too crazy. First phase should be pretty easy. Just kind of Terrablade it up. If we get a flare on, this will really speed up. It's nice to have 500 health. That's going to help out a little bit in this fight. I've got the beetle shell armor on right now, I think, which is going to make this a little slow. Yeah, I was just doing fishing stuff, and I usually wear the shell for that. So this might go a little slow, but it should be fine. I probably want the beetle scale, just because I've got vampire knives. Did I just walk through those tornadoes without taking damage? I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Okay then. Maybe the tornadoes do less damage than they used to? I'd be fine with that. Or I just got lucky. Yeah, this is a slow fight right now. Does Fish Run do a lot less damage in general? I'm pretty sure I just ran into him and took like 13 damage. Shouldn't I be getting like destroyed if I run into him? And I'm not complaining too much. Yeah, okay, I just ran into a tornado and took 25 damage. What is going on? Did they nerf Fish Run, or am I just like crazy? Like, am I misremembering? I guess it would make sense to bring his damage down a little bit if you're gonna confine him to just the ocean, but I liked it when he hit for like 100. Like, alrighty. Whoops. It does seem like I can drag him just like a tiny bit out of the ocean without worrying too much. Didn't we get knocked down to like 200 health the last time we fought Fish Run? How did that happen? We must have been playing really sloppy. Or maybe his damage goes way up in the second phase. Yeah, okay, so I'm taking like 17 from tornadoes. I don't know why that is. That seems really low. Certainly don't have a Fish Run banner up. Have not killed him 50 times. Nor... I don't think this character will ever have a reason to kill him 50 times. I guess they just decided to make fish run a little bit easier now. Kind of fine with that. Alright, I was worried I despawned him for a second. I feel like I'm being really sloppy versus him now. Like, I don't think I would have lived against old Fishron playing as poorly as I have. But it's hard to feel motivated to, like, dodge every single thing in this fight when it's just not hitting for that much. Does seem like the phase 2 attacks do a little bit more, but not significantly more. Okay, that tornado hit me for 46. So I guess in his second phase he does like a little bit more. That feels a little bit more... Yeah, I mean, that feels a little bit more like normal. Really hope he drops a... flare on, because this is slow. This is a slow fight. Alright, he's down. And of course, Sharknadoes spawn like way after he goes down, but now they're a little less scary. Seems like they don't hit as hard as they did. Alright, Tsunami's cool, but it's not quite what we needed. Although we do have the cool combination now of... I don't know if we'll really use it, but we can now fire wooden arrows for free with the Endless Quiver, which is kind of neat. You know, it's daytime. I should probably put on... I can put on the Sunstone. I don't know what I'd take off for it. The Worm Scarf's probably helping us a lot. But sure, I'll take off the Worm Scarf for the Sunstone for right now. Just causes us to kill fish on a little bit faster. And hey, if it makes us a little bit more likely to take damage, then it'll make the fight more interesting, because we'll die faster, he'll die faster. Although it is a warding Sunstone, so it's going to give us like 8 defense, sped up health recovery. Probably won't be the cause of our demise. Does seem like his health bar is ticking down a little bit faster than last time. I can't wait to get a Moonstone. I really want a Moonstone badly. Definitely have to go, like, if you really wanted to dodge Fishron, you have to go a lot more vertical than you used to, which is kind of neat. I like the current Fishron fight a lot. You know, I feel like I've been a little bit more, especially as I watch old videos, I've been a little bit more negative this series than I'd like to be, so I should really be pointing out, like, when I think that things are feeling really good. And I'm really feeling like the Fishron fight is probably improved overall from the 2.4. Because the 2.4 one, you did eventually get to a point where, and granted, this is my favorite boss. I thought it was a really good fight. It was my favorite fight in one of my favorite games. But the old Fishron fight, like, once you got to the point where you were aware of what you needed to do on a bridge, like that you just needed to build a bridge across your town and just be on it for forever, it really got kind of to the point where you could easily stay alive, and like Fishron wouldn't even be on your screen half the time. You weren't really thinking about what he was doing, you were just kind of like memorizing a pattern. And even if you were fighting him in like underpowered armor, underpowered gear, it was still all down to pattern memorization. So it's cool to have him, like, I don't feel like I'm memorizing a pattern right now. I feel like I'm, you know, getting out of the way of things, which is neat. Yeah, this is definitely going faster than it was when we were not doing the Sunstone. You know, one thing I should really test is to make sure that the Worm Scarf works. Because I've been using the Worm Scarf so much, I should really make sure that it does something in non-expert mode. I know that it's supposed to. Like, I know that they decided that expert mode items would work in non-expert mode, but I really, like, I'd prefer to test that for myself. Like, just to make sure. Because it'd be very silly to just be, like, wearing this Worm Scarf all the time, and then to find out that all along, like, I've been wearing the equivalent of, like, a warding shackle, you know? Because it does have a warding reforge. Mine has a warding reforge, is what, you know, you guys follow what I'm trying to say. This one should be down any second now. Gotta back off a little bit because of the Sharknado. Alright. Tempest Staff. Tempest Staff, you know, it might not be exactly what I'm looking for. It might not be a... It might not be a pair of fish on wings or a flare on, but it's definitely one of the items that I'm grinding fish on for. Like, I absolutely want it. So that's awesome. It's 10 a.m., so really easily can justify, like, another fish on fight with the Sunstone on. After this, I'll probably end the video, just because I think it's about that time. I'll keep the twins out for this fight, just because the Tempest Staff doesn't have a reforge, and the twins are actually... The twins might be just about the only minion I can think of that do a really good job of keeping on Fishron. Like, I fought Fishron with the Tempest Staff before, and every now and then you, like, might cause the Tempest Staff to kind of, like, slide through him. But for the most part, you don't connect with the Tempest Staff. So actually, like... So actually... hitting with the Tempest Staff, even though the damage is higher, it's rare versus, like, the twins, which, you know, the twins I feel like kind of stay on him pretty well, and usually at least one of them is hitting him, even if it's not for very much damage. In fact, if I could get maybe I should try and, now that Fishron's a little less scary, maybe I should try and look at the damage they're dealing, because it might not be very much. It's hard to tell. Looks like they're hitting him for about 20, so that's pretty trivial. It's something. Well, this is an interesting predicament. Now, this is the kind of situation where you would have just probably, you know, died or almost died, depending on how you played something like that in the older Fishron fight. The second phase was just rough. You know, I'm not crazy, right? Like Fishron has to have been nerfed. Like, if this is how strong he used to be, maybe I'm just wearing, like, a ton of defensive stuff and not noticing. I did just get hit by 70 from those tornadoes. So second phase might be the same, but it does... No, I'm pretty sure this feels like all around like a nerf. I've been wrong before, though. Yeah, I can't wait till I've got something with homing projectiles so that I can... You know, I was considering using the tsunami for this fight, but... I forgot. Okay, so... Bubble gun. Looked like maybe also a pirate map dropped. Yep, pirate map. Superior bubble gun. Okay, so we've got the new rarity, which is neat. That's always cool to see items with that. Yeah, I can't say I'm the most excited in the world about getting a bubble gun. But, I mean, you gotta get it out of the way at some point. Yeah, alright. Good video. We fought fish around a few times. We showed off a bunch of stuff I got fishing. And I'm gonna call that here. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, comment, support, all that stuff if you feel like it. And I'll see you next time.